pouch, I'll be using a pixel grid for the pattern. So this is the pixel grid that I will be using, and do not worry, I'll be going through every step, like how to change colors and how to count the stitches and a lot more as we go on. So for this pixel grid, I will explain you the exact number of stitches as well. So if you're following the same pixel grid that I am, you can do exactly the same number of stitches and follow the same color changes that I will be doing. So for this pixel grid pattern, I have used a main color that is white for me and a secondary color that is red. So you can choose any colors, but these are the two colors that I have chosen. So first we're gonna get started with the main color that is white for me. So I'll just grab my yarn here, and like any other project, we will be starting with a slip knot. So just hold your yarn like this, pull out the longer end and make a X. Grab your hook and insert it in this space. Pull up a loop and just pull it tightly and then tighten it on your hook. So if you can see in this pixel grid, the bottom row has 11 boxes. So just count the number of boxes in the bottom row. No matter what pixel grid pattern you're following, just count the number of boxes in the bottom row. So for me, I have 11 boxes in the bottom row. So I am going to be chaining 11 for my foundation chain. So just yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. So just count the number of boxes that you have in your bottom row of the pixel grid, and you have to do those many chains. So that's three I've done so far. And for my pixel grid, it has 11 boxes in the bottom row. So I'll be chaining 11. So I'm done with 11 chains here. So the stitch that I have used for this is a half double crochet. So after I'm done with the number of chains that I have to crochet, I'm just gonna chain two, yarn over and insert my hook into the third stitch. So from the hook I skip two stitches and I insert my hook into the third stitch right here and do a half double crochet. So the foundation chain that we did counts as the first row of the pixel grid. So if you can see, the bottom row of the pixel grid is our first row, and the second row, as you can see, there is no different color for the second row. So throughout this row I'm going to be doing half double crochets. So yarn over, insert my hook into the next stitch, yarn over and pull through. So yarn over, I insert the hook into the next stitch, yarn over and pull through. So just keep doing this. One thing you have to make sure is that the number of stitches that you have should be equal to 11 at all times. It should be 11 because I am following this grid pattern, and in this there are 11 boxes in every row. If you're following a different grid pattern, then the number of stitches that you have should be equal to the boxes that the grid pattern has in every row. Since for me it's 11 boxes, I'm going to be having 11 stitches for every row. So here I'm done with my first row, and let's bring the grid pattern back. Now you can see that in this particular row, that is the third row from the bottom, we have one red, right? So now you have to count the number of white boxes. So if you see, there are five white boxes. So what I am going to be doing is I'm going to chain two after I'm done with the first row, yarn over, turn around my work, insert my hook into the next stitch, yarn over and pull through. So now I'm going to be doing five half double crochets with the white yarn, but do not finish your last half double crochet. So this is one. So here I'm done with the four half double crochets, and fifth half double crochet I'm going to yarn over, insert my hook, pull up a loop, and I keep it there. So now the next stitch that we do, we have to do it in red color. So the stitch before that, there is the stitch that we are currently at. I don't finish the stitch with white, but I finish the stitch with red color. So I just grab my red colored yarn, I put it on my hook like this, and I just pull through and finish the stitch. Next stitch we have to do it in red color. So I yarn over, insert the hook, pull up a loop, but after this stitch we have to do a white stitch. So I grab my white yarn to complete the stitch, and then I do a stitch in the next space. So the basic idea of this is every time you have to change color. So here in our sixth stitch, we had to do it with red. So the fifth stitch, we don't complete it with white, but we use the red color to complete it. So the basic idea is, say in this pixel grid, if you look at it for the second row, the sixth stitch is in red color. So on the fifth stitch, that is one stitch before, we will be completing the stitch with red color like how I showed you, and you can see that our seventh stitch is white. So we do the same thing again. We complete the previous stitch with the color change. So as we do more rows, it gets clearer. But for now, we just have to finish this row with white itself. So let's just finish this row with white. So now for the third row in the pixel grid, you can see that we have to do 4 stitches of white. So here we did 5 stitches of white. For the next row, we have to do 4 stitches of white. So what we are going to be doing is yarn over and insert our hook and do 1, 2, and 3. So I've done 3 half double crochets, and fifth stitch is where we have to start the red color. So you see here fifth box is in red color. So the fourth stitch, that is the box before, is in white. So this particular stitch we complete it with red color. So you just yarn over, pull up a loop and keep it there. Just to get off track a little bit, you see that the thread is hanging right here. So you just leave a little bit space and you can just cut it off. So there is another option where you can just yarn over this strand of thread, but since I'm using white, I feel like if I yarn over the red, it'll show in my stitches and it'll kind of make the pattern look a little, well, bad. So I prefer cutting it and weaving the ends later on one side. I'll show you how that is done. But for now, once you're done with the color, just cut it off and leave enough space to weave in the ends, and I'll show you how to do that once we are done. So coming back to the stitches, you can see that I've done 3 half double crochets, and my fifth box, if you look at the pixel grid right here, my fifth box is red. So in my fourth stitch, I will not complete it with white, but I will grab the red yarn and complete the stitch. So there you go. And now I have to do 3 stitches in red. So I yarn over, insert the hook, pull 1 and 2. Now after my third stitch in red, I have to start with the white. So I don't complete my third stitch with red color, but I pull up and then I take the white yarn. So like I mentioned, just this side also cut it off again. Just keep following the same process for the entire pattern. Every time you're done, just cut off the yarn and start over like this. Just hold the white yarn like this and finish your stitch. And then we have to finish this row with white yarn again. So this is how it looks right now. I hope you guys have a better idea for this row than you did for the previous. So for the next row, if you see in the grid and here, we have to do 3 stitches in white and we have to do 5 stitches in red and 3 in white again. So I'm going to chain 2, yarn over, turn my work, and I'm going to do 2 stitches in white, and the third stitch I'm going to complete it with the red colored yarn. So let me give you the basic gist of it again. Every time you have to change a color, the stitch before that you complete it with the color that you're changing to. Same applies to red and white. So here in the fourth stitch, I have to do a red half double crochet. So in the stitch before that, that is the third stitch, I completed it with red. Now I have to do 5 half double crochets. Now after the fifth stitch, since I have to shift to white, I'm going to be finishing that stitch with white. And I continue the rest of it with white, that is 3 stitches. So there you go. We are done with this row as well. Now you just have to follow the same pattern for the entire grid. So every time the next box is of a different color, the stitch before that you complete it with the color that you're going to change to. And now the rest of the rows, I'm going to quickly go through them. For this row, I just have 2 stitches in white. And I'm now going to complete my second stitch. Since the third stitch is in red, I'm just going to use the red yarn to finish this stitch. And I have to do 7 stitches in red. So I'm going to be doing 7 half double crochets in this color. After the 7th stitch, I have to shift to white. So I'm not going to finish the 7th stitch with red, but I'm going to be finishing it with white. And I'm going to finish this row off with 2 half double crochets in white. So this is how it looks after this row as well. Now for the next row, we have to do the exact same as this row. That is 2 half double crochets in white and then 7 in red. So first half double crochet, I don't complete the second one. So I just use my red yarn to complete the second half double crochet. And then I do 7 half double crochets in red. So now after the 7th half double crochet, I have to shift to white. So the 7th half double crochet, I will be completing it with the white yarn. And then continue 2 half double crochets in white. So this is how it looks. You can see that the shape is forming a little bit. Now for the next row, this is not tricky if you understand how it is done, but let me just go through it in a little bit more detailed manner. I have to do 2 half double crochets in white. So I do 1 and the second one I don't complete because I have to change to red for the third stitch. So for the second stitch, I use my red yarn to complete it. And I have to do 3 stitches in the red color. So I yarn over, insert it. Yeah, I do 2 half double crochets normally. And for the third one, I complete this in white. That is because you can see in the pixel grid that after 2 half double crochets in white, we have to do 3 half double crochets in red, and then we have 1 white stitch to get the shape of the heart. So on my third stitch in red, I shift to white. So I finish this stitch off with a white color. That is a third stitch, and I do 1 stitch in white. But since there's only 1 stitch and I have to immediately shift to the red color, I will be completing this white stitch with a red color. So I hope you guys got it. Let me just show you that again. So once you're done with the 2 half double crochets in white, and we have to do a total of 3 half double crochets in red. I'm done with 2. So I'm just going to yarn over, insert it in the next stitch, pull up a loop. And this stitch, I'm going to be completing it with the white yarn because our 1 stitch after this is white. You can see that there's just 1 box that is white after the 3 red boxes in this row. So I'm just going to do 1 stitch, but I'm not going to be completing this also in white. But this stitch also I'll be completing it in red because you can see that immediately after the 1 white box, we have 3 red boxes again. So I complete this stitch with red and then I do 3 half double crochets in red. And the third half double crochet I completed with the white yarn. And I continue doing 2 more half double crochets in white. So this can get a little tricky, but that is only because you have to change the color 4 times instead of how you usually do, since we have one white in the middle. But this is an extremely good pattern to start off with, because once you start doing more complicated pixel grids, you have to change color many times in one row alone. So once you're done with this, I'm going to chain two, turn my work, and for the next row, you can see that there's three half double crochets in white. So that's one, two, and I'm not going to finish the third one in white. I'm going to finish it in red. So I just grab my red yarn here and pull, and then I have to do only one stitch in red color. So I yarn over, insert my hook, and I don't complete this stitch either since we have to do only one in red. I grab my white yarn to finish off this stitch, and then I have to do three stitches in white color. So that's one, and the third stitch I again use the red color yarn to complete it. So now after completing the third stitch with the red color yarn, I'm going to do one stitch with the red, and again I'm not going to finish this because it's only one stitch with the red color. I am going to use my white color to complete it, and I'm going to finish off this row with the white colored yarn. Now after this you can see that the next row is completely of white half double crochets. So I'm just going to chain two, and I'm going to do half double crochets all across only in white color, and this is our last row. I know that in the pixel grid there's one more row, but here you can see that below the heart we have done only one row. So after completing the heart also I want to do only one, so it kind of looks better. If you want to do the other row also, it's completely up to you, but I just want to do one more row to finish it off. And here I'm done, so I chain one and fasten off. So now I know that this looks extremely messy and looks nothing like a heart, but what we do is we pick one side that you like. So I kind of like this better, and this has comparatively less threads, and then you use your hook or your needle, it's completely up to you, and you just basically push all these strands of yarn on the other side. So just push them and pull them out on the other side. So just keep doing this. So if this is white, I'm going to find the nearest hole and I'm just going to push it and pull it on the other side. You can use a needle for this if you want to, but I just feel that that takes a lot more time because you have to attach your needle to every single yarn and you have to then push it onto the other side. This is comparatively easier than using a needle, I feel. We're going to weave in the ends with the needle, but just the pushing part, I find it way easier to do it with a hook just like this. And I'll meet you once I've pushed in all the strands of yarn onto the other side. So now you can see that I've pushed all the ends to the other side. So I know the other side still looks messy, but you can just cut them short, the ones that are too long. And instead of weaving each one of them separately, just grab like a set of yarn. So you can see that these set of yarn are very close to each other. So grab the set of yarn that are close to each other, place them in the needle, and you can weave in more than one end together. So even though this looks very messy, the reason I like to follow it is because the alternative is to grab hold of the entire yarn while you're crocheting in the other color. The only issue that I find with that method is it is kind of seen when you're crocheting. So if I grab hold of red yarn for this entire area, I can see red at the bottom of every stitch. And I don't like the look that gives to the entire grid. So I would much rather weave in the ends. And if it seems overwhelming, don't worry. Just grab two or three strands of yarn together and weave them in and just cut them off. So it'll be comparatively faster, trust me, and I'll meet you once I'm done. So to crochet this pouch, you'll be needing two such grids that we did. So the entire process that I have explained before, you guys can follow the exact same process and make another one. And we're just going to be facing them like this, where the good side of both the grids is facing outside. So to stitch both these panels together, I'll be using a hook, and just make sure you align them perfectly. So you have to align every row, and once you're done with that, just insert your hook through the first row of the first panel and then through the second. And then I grab my yarn, so just place it on your hook like this and pull it through both. So I'm going to chain one now, and then I'm going to be doing slip stitches later on. So then I insert my hook into the next space that I see here, that is this one, and insert it through both the panels like this. Pull out the yarn and slip stitch. I insert my hook into the next space right here, and I insert them through both the panels like this. I pull up a loop and I do a slip stitch. So just continue doing this all across these three sides. The bottom side is going to be comparatively easier because you have proper defined stitches. The two sides might get a little difficult, but it's actually very easy once you get the hang of it. Just insert your hook into the space, pull up a loop and do a slip stitch. Insert it into the next space, that is right here, pull up a loop and do a stitch. One thing you have to make sure of is that you don't miss any spaces, because you can see that here I've not missed any spaces, so there's no hole left once I've stitched that particular part together. So once you're done stitching, just make sure there are no gaps, since we don't want stuff to kind of fall out. Just make sure that you're inserting it in the same space of both the sides, because otherwise the panels will not align well once you're done. So just insert it into the next space, pull up a loop and do a slip stitch. So here you can see that I've reached the corner. Now I'm just going to continue doing the same slip stitches in these stitches right here off the bottom. There is nothing extra that you have to do. You just have to continue the slip stitches all across, and you have to make sure that you're inserting it in the same space for both the panels so that they're perfectly aligned. And I'll meet you once I'm done and I reach this corner. So now as you can see, I have done all the sides and there are no gaps on either of the sides. Now before we fasten off, I want to add one more rows extra just to increase the size of the pouch by a little bit. So I just chain two. So you can just continue this once you're done with the stitching. If you have done it with your hook, you can also do it with your needle. It's completely up to you. So I'm just going to chain two, yarn over, insert my hook into the next stitch, yarn over, and pull through. So you're just going to continue doing half double crochets like this. Just make sure that you don't insert your hook through both the sides, since we want this to be open. So I yarn over and I insert my hook through the next stitch, but only on one side and not on both, and then I pull through and do a half double crochet. So just continue doing this. So when you reach the corner here, I yarn over, insert my hook and do a half double crochet in that corner, and then I yarn over and I do a half double crochet in the other corner as well, like this. So this is how it's going to look. I just have to do half double crochet in every stitch, and then I continue doing half double crochets across this side as well. So here I have come to an end of my first row, and so I'm just going to slip stitch in the chain 2 space that we made right here, and this is how it looks. Now the next row that we are going to do is going to be a mesh row for the ties. So after you're done with the one row, we are going to chain 3. So this chain 3 counts as a half double crochet and a chain 1. Then I'm going to yarn over and I'm going to skip this first stitch right here and insert my hook into the second stitch and do a half double crochet. And I'm going to chain 1, and then this is the pattern that we are going to be following. So after the chain 1, I skip this stitch right here, insert my hook into the next stitch and do a half double crochet and then chain 1. Skip one stitch, insert the hook into the next and do a half double crochet. So you can see that we have little spaces right here. So this is the mesh pattern, and we are going to insert our ties through this row. So after the chain one, skip one stitch, yarn over and insert the hook and do a half double crochet. Chain one, skip one stitch, insert and do a half double crochet. So when you reach the corner here, so just skip the corner stitch right here, and after your chain one, you are going to do a half double crochet in this chain right here. So this is how it looks. You get a mesh right above the corner, and then I'm going to chain one and continue doing this. So here I've reached the last stitch, and I'm just going to chain one and do a slip stitch in this space right here and pull up. So this is how it's going to look. So it kind of looks weird to end the pouch on a mesh row. So we are going to finish off with the last row of single crochets. So I just chain two and I insert my hook into the space, pull up a loop and do a single crochet. And I insert my hook into the stitch, pull up a loop and do a single crochet. So next space, single crochet, next stitch, single crochet. So just follow this all along and I'll meet you once I'm done. So here I'm done with the row of single crochets as well, and I'm just going to slip stitch in the chain two that we did and fasten off. So now for the ties, I have my red yarn here and I'm going to start with a slip knot. So the ties are extremely simple. You just have to chain double the width of your pouch. So this is how wide my pouch is. I have to chain double the width and I have to have a little bit extra for me to use the ties properly. So I just have to keep chaining until I reach a length that is double the width of my pouch and a few chains extra as well, since I want to use the ties to well tie the pouch. So just keep chaining, and I've chained these many, so I'm just going to fold it in half and put it on my pouch, and you can see that I have enough to cover double the width of my pouch and a little extra. So I'm going to stop here. I'm just gonna fasten off, and I have to make one more tie since we need ties on both the ends. So I have chained 42 here, and when I fold it into half you can see that I have double the width of my pouch and a little extra as well, and I have done 42 chains. If you follow the exact same pattern that I have, you can also chain 42 and you will get enough for the ties. Now I'm going to make one more string like this, that is a chain of 42. So here I'm done with 42 chains for the other tie as well, and I'm just going to fasten off. So now we are going to start inserting the ties. So just grab one of your tie and you see that there are five spaces here and then there's one space on either end. So in the first space here from this corner, we are going to pull our tie. Okay, so one thing you can do is grab a bigger hook if you want to make this process easier. So I'm just going to grab a bigger hook. So only for the first time we insert it through both the spaces. After this, we are going to be inserting it only through spaces on one side. So I just insert my hook like this and then just pull. So only for the first time when you're inserting the tie to the pouch, we insert it through both the spaces. But after that, we are going to be doing it only through one side. So then I insert it like this again and pull it. And then I do that again and I pull it. And here also, there you go. So just make sure that you have enough left on both the sides like this, and then I do it through the last one, and you can see that it looks a little weird to have a tie here. So this space right here of the corner or the fold, you can call it, I'm just going to insert my hook there and pull both the ends of the tie through that space. So now you can see that this looks a little bit better than before. Now we are going to follow the same process for the other tie as well. So this right here is the corner space. So we insert it in the first space on the opposite side. Just remember to do it on the opposite side. And here we have done the inserting on the first space to both the sides. Now we do it only through one. So now we follow the same process again. So just insert your hook like this and grab the tie. Okay, see, now you can see that I've kind of pulled it too much. Make sure not to do that. But I have enough left to pull it back, so it's fine. But make sure you don't pull it too much also. And then I'm going to follow the same process. Insert and then pull. When you reach the end, make sure to know which one you're pulling onto so you don't get confused, because if you pull onto the wrong one, then the ties won't work the way they're supposed to. So here I've done this side as well. And like I said, once you reach the corner, you can pull both the ties through the corner space. Right here, this one and this one as well. So now you see that I've got the ties like this, and when I pull onto them, it works perfectly. And if you want, you can do more rows on top if you feel like the one row of single crochet is not enough. But I feel this looks good enough for me. Now we're just gonna align both these sides together. So just pull, and once you can see that now these both sides are pretty much aligned, I'm just going to tie them together. Once you align them, I'm just going to tie them together, and then you can just cut it off. So it looks a little bit neat as well. Do the same on the other side also. Just align them and tie them together. And then cut it off. So here we are done with the pouch, and you can just weave in these ends. And after you're done weaving it, you have your pouch ready. So this next type of pouch that we are going to make is probably the easiest one that I have seen. You just have to make one big granny square, and then we are going to fold it in a way that it turns out to be a pouch. So all you have to do is crochet one granny square. So just grab the yarn of your choice. I'll be using white color of acrylic yarn. So to start off with this granny square, I'll be using this white color acrylic yarn and a 4 millimeter hook. So we are going to start off with a magic ring. So just hold the end of your yarn like this, pull up the longer end to form a X like this, and then insert your hook into the space right here and pull up the second strand of yarn like this, and just hold it there, and we are going to chain 3. After you're done with the chain 3, we are going to do 2 double crochets in this space right here. So yarn over, insert the hook into the space, yarn over and pull through 2 and pull through 2. And then one more double crochet in that space. And we are going to chain 2. And then we are going to do 3 double crochets in this space right here. So yarn over, insert the hook, pull through 2, 1, 2, and 3. And then after the 3 double crochets, we are going to chain 2 again and do 3 more double crochets in the same space. So these chain two spaces are going to act as the corners of our square. So once you're done with the three double crochets, we are going to chain two again and do three more double crochets in the same space. After the three double crochets, I'm going to chain two again, and then this shorter strand of yarn right here, I'm going to pull it tight. And once you pull it tight enough, the chain three that we did in the starting, I'm going to insert my hook there and do a slip stitch. So you can see that the shape of the square is formed. So once you're done with the slip stitch, we are going to be chaining three, and we are going to do one double crochet in this corner space right here. After the one double crochet, we are going to chain two. So the chain three that we did here counts as one double crochet, and we have done another double crochet. So in the same space, we are going to do two double crochets now. So one and two. So these set of stitches are what make a corner stitch. That is two double crochets, chain two and two double crochets. Now in the next three stitches, we are going to do three double crochets. So yarn over, insert the hook into the next stitch. One, two, and three. So once we are done with the three double crochets in the corner space, again we are going to do two double crochets, and then chain two and two double crochets again. So like I mentioned before, these set of stitches are what make a corner stitch. So in every corner space, we do these set of stitches, and here we have another corner. So this was our first corner and second. Now here we are going to do three double crochets again, and we have reached another corner. So we are going to do the same stitch again, that is two double crochets, chain two and two double crochets. So one, two, and then we do a chain two and two double crochets again. So we follow the same pattern for this row. So we do three double crochets in the next three stitches, and then in the corner we again do two double crochets, chain two and two double crochets. So I'll meet you once I'm done with this row. So here I'm done with the second row, and I'm just going to slip stitch in this space right here to finish off this row. So one thing about a granny square like this is you always have to start a new row from a corner space. And you can see that we are not in a corner space right now. So what we're going to do is slip stitch in the next stitch and one more. So we slip stitch in the next two stitches. So after the slip stitch in the next two stitches, you see that we are at a corner space now. So we are going to chain three, and then we do a double crochet in the space, then chain two and two double crochets in the same space. So this is the basic idea of the pattern. In every corner space, you do two double crochets, chain two and two double crochets. Then you do double crochets till you reach the next corner space. And once you reach the next corner space, you repeat these set of stitches again. And at the end of every row, you do a slip stitch, and you do slip stitches in the next two stitches to reach the next corner space. So now for the third row, we are going to do six double crochets to reach the next corner. So one. Now you see that I'm at a corner space. So I'm going to do two double crochets in the corner space, and then chain two and two double crochets. So we keep following this pattern till we have a big enough granny square to make our pouch. So I'll show you how we turn this one big granny square into a pouch once I've done enough rows and made the granny square big enough. So just keep following this pattern in every corner space. So that is 4 times in one row we'll be doing these set of stitches. That is 2 double crochets, chain 2 and 2 double crochets, and in between two corners we'll be doing double crochet in every stitch. These double crochets in every stitch will increase as we increase the number of rows. So for the third row we have 6 double crochets, and then for the fourth row we'll have 9. So the number of double crochets will increase as we crochet more rows, and in every corner space you have to do these set of stitches. So repeat the same pattern till you have a big enough granny square. And don't forget that you have to start a new row in the corner only. So every new row that you start, you should start it from a corner space by doing the set of stitches that you would do for a corner space. So you have to slip stitch till you reach the corner space near you. There is always 2 slip stitches to reach the new corner space. So you just do those slip stitches and then you start the next row. And I'll meet you once I'm done. So here I'm done with the big granny square. I did a total of 7 rows. So to turn this big granny square into a pouch, we are basically just gonna fold it. So let me just fasten off here. So this big granny square, to turn it into a pouch, we are just gonna basically fold it. So grab the two ends of your granny square and fold it like this, and fold the third end like this as well. So this is how the pouch is going to look. We are going to stitch this side and this side together, and this right here is going to act as the flap. So before we stitch all this together, we are going to add borders to add a little bit color to our granny squares. So we are going to crochet a border with a different color. So I'll be using red color because in the previous section I have made this pouch and I've used red color here. So just to complement that pouch, I'll be using red color as the borders for this granny square as well. So to crochet the border, just insert your hook in any corner and grab your yarn and just chain 1. So in every corner space, you're going to do 3 single crochets. So just yarn over 1 and 2. So the chain 1 counted as the first single crochet, and we did 2 single crochets after that. Now you're going to continue doing 1 single crochet in each stitch till you reach the next corner space, and then in this corner space you're again going to do 3 single crochets. So just insert your hook into the next stitch and we do a single crochet, and keep doing this until you reach the next corner space. And now here you can see that I've reached my corner space. So in this corner space, I will be doing 3 single crochets. And then I'm going to continue doing single crochets all along till I reach back at this end. So I'll meet you once I'm done. So here I have reached the end and I have already done my 3 single crochets in this space. So I'm just going to do my last single crochet, and I'm going to slip stitch in the chain 1 that we did in the starting and just fasten off. I like the effect the red color has on the granny square. It complements really well. So now we are basically going to fold this granny square to make it into a pouch. So just make sure the good side is facing out. So if you notice that this side slightly looks a little messy, but this side looks cleaner, so this is the good side. Once you look at it, you get an idea about which one is the good side. So make sure your good side is facing away from you and the messier side is facing towards, and we are going to fold it like this and like this again. So now in every corner space we have done 3 single crochets. In the center single crochet, that is the second single crochet, from that stitch we are going to start stitching this together. So basically you just arrange it like this, like a diamond. I think if you guys have done origami or anything like that, you get what I'm trying to do here. And the second single crochet, so if you see, we have done 3 single crochets in every corner space. From the second single crochet onwards, you start stitching the sides together. So when I put it like this and I pull up, I just have to stitch this together from the second single crochet. So you can just use your needle to stitch these sides together, or you can use your crochet hook as well. It's completely up to you. I will be using my crochet hook, so I'll just show you how to do that. So just grab your hook, and here you see that this is the middle or the second single crochet. So I just insert my hook through that stitch, and I insert it through the second single crochet of the other side as well, and I hold it together like this. And I'll be using red yarn itself to stitch it up. So I take the red yarn and I pull up a loop. Now I'm going to slip stitch into every stitch. So just insert my hook into the next stitch, pull through and pull through the loop on my hook. So just insert my hook into the next stitch, pull through and then pull through my loop. So I just keep doing this to stitch together this particular side. Just keep doing slip stitches. You do not do single crochets or anything. You just continue doing slip stitch, and you have to make sure that the stitches are aligned. So here I'm done with the last, and this is how it looks. It looks really clean as well, and I'm just gonna do a slip stitch in the last one and chain one, and I'm gonna fasten off. So there you go. This is how one side looks, like this. Now I'm going to repeat the exact same thing with the other side as well over here, and make sure that you stitch together this corner and this corner as well, that is these two corners. So we don't want this gap here, so make sure you stitch these two sides together also like this, so it looks good together. Otherwise you will have a weird gap here, which we don't want. So just make sure to stitch these two sides as well together, and this side as well. And I'll meet you once I'm done. So this is how it looks once you're done. And when you close it, you just close the pouch like this. So we're just gonna add one tiny little bow detail over here on this area of the pouch. For that, just grab your yarn, the same color that you have used for the border, and make a slip knot. And you're gonna chain 42. So here I'm done with 42 chains. So I'm just gonna fasten off, and make sure that you make the ends extremely tight, and then you trim off the ends like this. But before you do that, just make sure that it's extremely tight on both the sides like this, and then you can just trim it off. So to make a bow, we are just going to make two loops like this, and you're gonna tie a knot exactly like this, and then you can just adjust it a little. It's kind of similar to tying a shoelace, so let me just show that again. You make two bunny ears, and then you cross them like this, and then this part, or the one on the top, you just push it through this hole right here, and then you tighten it, and then you can just adjust it a little bit, and this is how it looks. And you can just stitch this on to this part of your pouch, so it looks a little cute as well. And you can just weave in these ends, and here you have the simplest possible pouch that you could get out of just one granny square.